Thank you, Coach Miller, for coming in. I want to talk to you about what's coming up this week. So we have William Allen. They're 0-8. They haven't won a game yet. What is the game plan to stay focused and not become overconfident playing a team like William Allen that has not won a game yet?
Well, number one is anybody that we play, you always got to give them that's the record 0-0. Our record
Hmm.
0-0. So when you're going against William Allen on Friday night, they have good athletes. They have a good quarterback that can move. They're agile and they have a good receiver. Our biggest thing that we need to do is take care of what we can do. We can't get caught up in any other thing. We got to make sure that we come out, we play physical football, and we just get the job done.
Building off of that, one thing that has been a story throughout the season that has kind of struggled is the run defense, struggling against South. And in most of the other losses, how do you look to change that and as we head towards the playoffs and make the run defense a little better to prevent, to make teams pass when we have a really good secondary?
Okay, so I will tell you this: our last week's game was the first time that we've given up over 200 yards of rushing
Hmm.
for a team. Against Eastburg North, they were minus 63 offensively, and against Deerhoff, they were, I think, at plus 64 yards of offense. So, I mean, defensively, um, we were hoping, obviously, that South would throw the ball more. They ran a different set against us. We sort of knew what we might see against them,
Hmm.
and we just our formation, how we aligned to them wasn't correct. So our alignment that we set up for, we were misaligned many times in that game. And that's when you're misaligned, you don't have what's called gap integrity. That's one
Hmm.
of the biggest problems, and then you're going to have gaps inside that we don't have anybody for.
So how do you look to change that up for this week?
Well, we got to play physical. We got to make sure we're aligned correctly. So this week, as we're getting ready for Allen, we have to go back over and sort of look at what they're going to give us. Because again, it's going to be totally different sets. That's the thing you have to understand is from one week to another, every team that we face always gives you a different look. So when we get ready for Allen, we have to make sure that our alignments are correct. We know what their quarterback's going to do. We have to make sure our reads are correctly with, if we're reading the guards or reading the tackles this week. We have to make sure we're making the correct reads. And in our secondary wise, we have to be in the right coverage if they're going to throw the ball.
There's 2 weeks left in the season. Is there a sense of urgency knowing the playoff standing of Stroudsburg, or do you feel like we are in a very good position to go to the playoffs?
Well, we're in a good position. I mean, we've got to win out the next two games. And then based on that's going to give us where our seed is. Losing this past week to South, that's going to hurt a little bit because that's dropping us further down. You don't get a lot of points from South because at that point in time they had two wins. So you try to look at where you can get more beneficial because obviously we're have finished the season 7-3. What you're doing is you're looking to be in that fourth spot, maybe the fifth spot. In postseason. I think right now we might be sitting in seventh spot. So we need to win out the next two games and hopefully, maybe bump up the number six.
Knowing that there's a couple other teams surrounding, there's Easton, there's a couple other schools around the area of Stroudsburg. Are you paying attention at all to what they're doing over these next 2 weeks, or is it just focusing on Stroudsburg and our opponents coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we have to take care of business. What other teams go, whatever other teams do, for us, it doesn't really matter because if we don't take care of our own thing, it doesn't matter. So we have to worry about what we do, and then we'll sort of let the cards fall as they will.
So obviously, there was a quarterback change throughout the middle of the season. How do you feel like that changed the season? Because going into the game that Jack started for the first time, we were 1-3. Now we come out of it with 2 games left. We're 4-4. So how do you feel like that really changed the progression of the season?
Well, I mean, with Jack being in there, he's a freshman, number one, and he's able to throw the ball really well. So between Ben and Jack, both have equal strengths and both have equal weaknesses. So what we're going to try to do is, as we continue here with the last 2 weeks getting ready for postseason play, is we're going to try to utilize both of their strengths as quarterbacks.
So what is your main goal this week to against William Allen to get another one to move to 5-4 and really cement your place into the postseason?
We need to come out on all aspects of football. special teams, offense, defense, and we have to make sure when we come out that the mistakes that we made last week are corrected. Blocking schemes, tackling, and even just on special teams, making sure that we're doing all those little things correctly, that not so much against Allen, but that we're getting better at, fundamentally, that we're doing the correct things to get us into, PV week and then district play.
All right. Thank you, Coach Miller, for everything. Good luck the rest of the way. I hope to talk to you again soon.
I'm sure I'll see you on the sideline.